Good morning, George. I hope you're doing good. You're not getting me at my best looking this morning, but hopefully you're getting me at my best teaching this morning. So, I got your question. I don't know exactly what the question was, but I can infer from the graph you sent me what it's trying to answer. So, first, before you start listening to this, I want you to open up your book to page 190 and 191. So pause it right here and get your book and open it to 190 and 191. Okay, I'm going to assume you paused it. I'm going to assume you have your book, and I'm going to assume you opened it to 190 and 191. Okay, so we're going to look at the bottom of page 190, and we're going to be going up to the first paragraph of 191, and we're going to look at the two charts on the top of 190 and 191. And so what it's talking about here is, again, I don't know, but I think it's asking something about, the question is asking something about the relationship of how does marginal product interact with marginal cost? And so how does where is the height of where is the highest marginal product reflected in this diagram? Maybe it was asking something like that. And so in these two paragraphs here, it reflects that. So marginal product is reflected in marginal cost when you only have one variable that's happening in a marginal cost equation. So let's look at this. So I think they're making t-shirts here. I don't know. We can make whatever we want. So let's make, I don't know. If you like to eat, food's hard. Let's make pencils, because for some reason, whatever, pencils are on my mind today. So in pencils, let's say we have a bunch of fixed costs. So we have wood, we have lead, we have erasers, we have the metal parts, and let's say we bought all of that in bulk. And for whatever reason, we buy electricity in bulk. We already paid for all the machines in our shop. So everything else is already a fixed cost. So at the start of our day, this is ridiculous, but somehow all of our fixed cost, including our factory, all of our fixed cost is $1,000. Again, it's stupid, but that's what we're going to play with, because economics is all about playing with numbers. Okay, so all of that is $1,000. So we know that that $1,000 is going to be split up amongst every pencil we make, right? So every pencil we make has to hold a portion of that $1,000. So if we made one pencil, it would at least have to cost $1,000, right? Because it would have to cover all the rest of our costs. So we know that $1,000 is going to be split up amongst every pencil. So that's a fixed cost. The only variable cost we have in our pencil factory is labor. And we're going to assume that we pay all of our people the same amount. So what we care about is how many pencils can each of those people produce? Well, we have machines, right? And maybe each of our machines does something different. Maybe one of our machines cuts the wood, and one of our machines puts in the lead, and one of our machines wraps and puts the eraser on top. All right, so we hire one person for $10 an hour that works 8 hours a day. And with that one person, she's able to go and she works, and she first works on the first machine, and she cuts the wood, and then she moves to the second machine and she loads the lead, and then she moves to the third machine and she adds the erasers. She does that for 8 hours, and after 8 hours, she is able to make, what do you want to say, 1,000 pencils. That's pretty good, right? It's 1,000 pencils. So at the end of the day, 1,000 pencils. Well, that day cost us $1,080, right? So 1,000 pencils at $1,080. That means each pencil has to cost at least $1.08. Okay? So our marginal right? Our marginal cost, our marginal product. We don't really have a curve yet because we've only had one, right? Well, let's say the next day we hire two people, okay? And so we have our first person, and she's really good on the first machine. And so she works the first machine all day. And the other guy we pay $10 an hour to. They both work 8 hours. And so they do that the whole day. He works the last two machines. And at the end of the second day, they're able to make, I just want easy math. So let me figure out how I can have easy math here. I'm just going to make stuff up. They make 2,500 pencils. So we have $1,000 that was fixed, and we have $160 right now that was variable. So now we have $1,160 and we have 2,500 pencils. So now each pencil is gonna cost, what is that? I don't know, 50 cents, right? Let's say 50 cents. Okay, I don't know if it's gonna cost 50 cents. It's gonna cost somewhere around 50 cents, right? So we're gonna say each pencil is gonna cost somewhere around 50 cents, right? So our marginal cost curve just went down, right? And our marginal product just went up, right? Because what they could produce in a day went up. Okay, so that's good, right? Because we got more out of our labor. So we spent 160, and now we got 2,500 instead of 1,000. So that's good. We're getting more production. So let's say the third day we hired another person. So now we have one person for each machine. That's pretty good, right? So we paid them $80 for their day. We still have $1,000 to run the plant. And that day they were able to produce 5,000 pencils. Or let's say, to make it easy, they were able to produce, what is that going to be, $240? So they were able to produce 4,760 pencils. Okay, that's not going to make it easier, is it? It's going to cost $5,000 from that. They were able to make 5,000 pencils. So at the end of the day, they made 5,000 pencils. And 5,000 pencils, and our only cost was $1,240. That's roughly 20 cents. We had another person, and they made, next day, because there was two people there trying to work different things, they couldn't make as many. They only made 6,500 pencils, and then the next day we had another person, and they only made 7,000 pencils. So our price kept going up. Well, our marginal cost started rising again because of that diminishing returns, and our marginal product started falling, right? We reached our pinnacle of marginal cost and marginal product when we hired that third person. So those curves look exactly the same. So when it's asking to show where was my pinnacle of marginal product, how much product could I get compared to my labor, that's equal to my marginal cost, right? My variable cost compared to my output, to my income. Well, my marginal cost is exactly equal to my marginal product, just on opposite ends of the scale. So I think that's what the question was asking you. I think that helps. I hope that helps. 190, 191. Let me know if you have any other questions, and I'll talk to you soon. I hope you have a great Saturday, George. See ya.